welcome back to the Panic Room, everyone, and to another book review today. So guys, we're actually going to be talking about kind of 2.5 books in today's video. I have recently been reading a lot of like shorter stuff, so I'm going to bust these into 2 videos just so we're not here all day. The first one, I wanted to talk about a really super special one, and one that I am again super late to the party on. So let's get started. So the first one I wanted to talk about is actually super cool. I finally got around to reading the first Evelyn book. If you guys remember, I talked about this prequel novel called Evelyn in one of my social media book videos, and the author, Dylan Kalan, he's also the author of the very, very important Meet the Outcast book that I reviewed. However, his Evelyn series is what made me discover him. And it's religious horror. You guys know I love some religious horror. I finally read the first book, This House is Broken. Oh my gosh, did it not disappoint. So, spoiler free. But, you know, I was really wondering, like, the girl that you meet in the prequel, Evelyn, I could not see how she was a mom. Like, I could not see how that, like, progressed. I knew that's what the first book was about, but I was like, how in the world is this gonna happen? And oh my gosh, this is like, what was that movie which like, no more wire hangers? Like, imagine that mom and, I don't know, the 700 Club, like, just colliding in a character. Just whacked out crazy stuff. Now, I will say, you know, if you have maybe some domestic violence issues in your past, you know, there's some of that in here, so keep that in mind. And I'm gonna echo kind of what I said about the Evelyn book. I cannot tell you how well Dylan combines religion and horror, but marries it to mental health, okay? I've said it countless times. You guys know I have a background in both religion and mental health. He does something to where when he combines those two things, like a mental disorder of some kind, which I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't want to ruin the book for you, but he combines that mental aspect with like religious fanaticism in such a good way. It's such a believable way. You know, like, this is the kind of stuff that I feel like you read about in the papers. You know, like, and I know that when I'm filming this video, he is currently researching for his next book. His research, his time that he puts in to these characters shines. It really does. It shines because he nails it, I think. You know, the way these characters act absolutely nails it. And I want to also say, this particular book, you know, and I want to say it probably continues on, there's a number of children, and I was really shocked at how well he wrote these siblings because they're all so distinct, but yet you can really see that familial, like, similarity. Because, you know, I mean, even if you're, you know, a different kid, you guys have the same background, the same parents, same household, you're going to share some shit. And you have that present, but yet they're each so different. He writes them so well, such distinct personalities in each of these children. It's phenomenal. It really is. If you like religious horror and you have not checked out Dylan's work, you are missing out. You really are. You really are. And I cannot wait to finally be able to get down to the second book because I am loving this series. I really am. And Evelyn is one of those characters you kind of love to hate her. She keeps you on a roller coaster. She really does, and I love that in my characters. I do. So, This House is Broken, Part 1. Okay, so the next one is another one that I'm super late to the party on, and that is Crossroads. So I was lucky enough, David Olive over at Book Blather sent me Below, because I do hail from West by God, Virginia, and it was a crime that I had not read that book because of Mothman on the front. So I loved it. It was phenomenal. And I was very lucky that my other friend, Mr. Morningstar, because I have the best friends in the whole world, sent me Crossroads. And this did not disappoint either. Oh my gosh, did this not disappoint. I don't know what I was thinking when I read the title, but it certainly wasn't what happened in this book. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say this is maybe a possible trigger. I mean, it is a trigger, but it is also, to me, a sign of how visceral this book is. If you have ever dealt with the loss of a child, this is probably not something you want to pick up, okay? Because I have not experienced that, and it like was gut-wrenching for me, okay? And I haven't even experienced that. I cannot imagine what it would be if you had actually lived through that terrible, awful tragedy. And I don't even know where to begin. She takes this real-life, very possible tragedy of, you know, the loss of a child, and yet throws in some supernatural kind of elements to it. Not like in your face, not like in your face, but there's some supernatural elements to it. You know, you have some mental horror, which you guys know I absolutely love, going on here. You know, there is some body horror, a little bit of smattering of body horror. It's just so good. Laurel Hightower, the author of this book, has a gift for storytelling. This is the second book I've read by her, and it's a distinct style, but it is so freaking good. Like, you get sucked in. It's like a freaking vacuum cleaner. You open it up, you can almost hear it like trying to suck you into the pages. Like, that's how good it is. I mean, oh my gosh, so freaking good. I loved it. Loved it. You know, and really, I don't even want to tell you anything beyond that. It deals with the loss of a child, it deals with some mental issues, you got a sprinkling of body horror, you got a sprinkling of the paranormal. And if you are a parent of any sort, if you have ever loved a child, I feel like this is gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. Okay? In every way. So yes, Crossroads. And the last one Morningstar sent me to, this is a short story that I think he said they were giving out for free at like the small bookstore day, and my bookstores didn't do this, and he was kind enough to send it to me. And this is Chandelier, and I'm probably gonna butcher the name. Is it Mieko Kawakami? This was interesting. I mean, it was a short story, but there was a lot that happened here. And again, you're kind of in the head of your character, which I love. It's really about this woman that spends her days shopping, and she has a ton of money, and you kind of see how it affects her personality and the people around her. And I don't know, it kind of touches on so many things. It touches on like how money corrupts you. It touches on, you know, the effects of kind of an empty life and filling it with stuff instead of what's important, and how that gets to you after a while. I don't know. It was an interesting story. It really was. I mean, I think it's worth the read. You can read it in like just, what, half an hour, if that. It was very interesting. It really was. And you know, do I think that it was the scariest thing I've ever read? No. But it was one of those things like you put it down and you're like, huh, I might think about that next time I'm at the mall. You know, it's one of those that kind of like, it tingles in the back of your head. You know, like maybe you're in the mall and you see like something that the main character mentioned, like a ring, for example, and you get this like tap on the back of your head like, hey, you remember that story? I know I can't be the only person that's happened to. That's the kind of story this is. So, Chandelier. Alright guys, so that is some super short stuff that I've read, but I wanted to share it with you because all of it was amazing. Like I said, Dylan's Evelyn series just continues to amaze me. Laurel Hightower continues to amaze me. And then our, you know, our little book, The Chandelier, it was pretty cool too. You know, it's definitely worth a mention. So I just wanted to tell you guys, you know, you're my book friends. That's what I do. So guys, thank you for hanging out for another review video here in the Panic Room. Please, if you like this, hit like, hit subscribe. It would really help me out. And until next time, bye for now.